Welcome again. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Rigo Reyes. I am the Executive Director for the County of Los Angeles Office of Immigrant Affairs. We are here to recognize 10 outstanding organizations that are receiving grants in the amount of $150,000 each to elevate the incredible work you do in supporting immigrants and their families recover from the devastating impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. You should be very proud that your organizations were selected out of 84 applications we received. And while each of the 84 organizations deserves an award, the limited funds allowed us to only fund your 10 organizations due to the exceptional work you do every day for the people you serve. We are continuing our efforts to secure additional funds that will allow us to support more organizations in the future. This capacity strengthening grants are part of the County Board of Supervisors' commitment to support and better prepare your organizations to seize and take advantage of other funding opportunities the future has to offer. Later on, we will present each of you with a commendation from the board's chair, Supervisor Holly J. Mitchell, who represents the 2nd District of the Board of Supervisors. We will have with us today Claudia Gutierrez, representing Supervisor Mitchell, and she will present you with the commendations later on. And to speak of how much it means to the county to be able to invest in your organizations, we're now going to share a very special message from Supervisor Hilda L. Solis, who represents the 1st District.
Hello, I'm Hilda Solis, Supervisor to the 1st District of Los Angeles County, and I want to start by thanking the 10 organizations here today for your work supporting immigrants in Los Angeles County, the fabric of our community. As a daughter of immigrants, I know how essential it is to have organizations like yours advocating for the hardworking families and individuals who came to this country for better opportunities. I represent the residents of Los Angeles County from East Hollywood to Pomona in the San Gabriel Valley, encompassing numerous immigrant communities from all over the world. It has been my goal to ensure the county's commitment to equity extends to all its most vulnerable residents, including immigrants. To that end, I created the county's Office of Immigrant Affairs, which didn't exist until a few years ago. Since then, I have championed funding for services that support the immigrant community. Through the county's My Health LA program, Los Angeles County has expanded access to health care for up to 700,000 individuals who would not otherwise be eligible for Medi-Cal, including many undocumented immigrants. At the peak of the border crisis last year, we opened the Pomona Fairplex to temporarily care for over 10,000 unaccompanied children, many of whom were reunited with their families thanks to the hard work of many partners like Cielo. Last year, I also authored a motion to launch Represent LA, an immigrant community legal defense program, including removal defense for persons in immigration detention, removal defense for non-detained immigrants in removal proceedings, affirmative immigration relief representation, and community support for clients and families during their immigration process. In partnership with the Office of Immigrant Affairs, we are working to ensure cultural competency and language accessibility across all of our county departments. And under my leadership, the county is also working with our homeless service system to better serve immigrants and undocumented individuals who have fallen into homelessness. I also fought to ensure that the county's spending proposal for the American Rescue Plan included funding to serve our immigrant communities, including the grant we're celebrating today. These are efforts that so many of you have been a part of. The list of awardees for this round includes several organizations from the 1st District, which I have worked with, including Al Otro Lado, the Latino and Latina Roundtable. It also includes Cielo, which does such important work to help us serve our Indigenous brothers and sisters. The array of services and communities served by each of you is very impressive, and I'm glad to see the range of demographic groups served by the 10 organizations here today. It is a testament to the diversity of this county and the need to continue supporting all of Los Angeles County's immigrant communities. In closing, I want to acknowledge what an important time it is for us to be coming together to build our capacity to serve immigrants. You are rolling up your sleeves and demanding a place that welcomes and supports all immigrants and all people. That is what today is about, and it is exactly why I'm proud to recognize you all today. I know that you will put these grants to good use to better serve all our county's immigrant communities. Muchas gracias and felicidades a todos.
Thank you, Supervisors Mitchell, Supervisor Solis, and the entire Board of Supervisors for championing the rights of immigrants and their families and supporting them as they recover from the pandemic and many of the other challenges they face. Now I would like to thank Shelby King, who has joined us today on behalf of Supervisor Sheila Kuehl, who represents the 3rd District. Thank you, Shelby, for making the time to join us. Next, I would like to introduce OIA's Chief, Daniel Sharp, who is here to tell us about what the office does. Dan?
Thanks so much, Rigo. So during the pandemic, the OIA has continued to support immigrants to learn about benefits and services available to them, some of which Supervisor Solis just spoke about. In addition, the OIA has helped immigrants and refugees navigate the pandemic by connecting them with information about COVID testing, treatment, and vaccinations, eviction prevention resources, including mediation services to handle landlord-tenant disputes, where to get emergency meals, and the filing of complaints about notario fraud, price gouging, and other consumer fraud. And of course, we've been working to launch our signature initiative, the Represent LA program, which will soon provide immigration legal representation and connect clients with critical support services during their immigration processes. We're all too aware that many in our immigrant communities were not able to access vital pandemic relief due to immigration status restrictions, of course. And we also know that CBOs like our grantees were able to step in to connect immigrants with life-saving information and resources throughout the pandemic. So our capacity strengthening grants were made possible through funding from the American Rescue Plan. And we're really grateful for that federal support and for the allocation to our Department of Consumer and Business Affairs by the Board of Supervisors that has allowed us to invest in our CBOs to strengthen your capacity to serve LA County's immigrant communities as we eventually move out of the pandemic and into the recovery phase. So now I'd like to introduce my esteemed colleague, Michael Nobleza, who will give us the big picture about this grant program you've been selected for. Michael, take it away.
Thank you, Daniel. As many of you know, the spirit of the American Rescue Plan Act is to build back better. The county wants to leverage the historic and unprecedented investment of federal dollars to help our communities to have more equitable, healthy, financial, and other life outcomes than we had going into the pandemic. We could have invested in direct services, and many county programs are, but we recognize that to truly transform the future for the county's immigrants, we need to invest in you as partners in this work. When designing this project, we spoke with CBOs like yours, philanthropy, and other county departments. We heard that we need to leverage this one-time infusion of public dollars as a seed for a more equitable future. We heard that we need to provide a level of funding that could help organizations to evolve to the next level of impact and effectiveness. And we took all of these insights and created a project design that focused on providing a significant chunk of money to each of your organizations that could benefit most from it. And we also eventually selected the Center for Nonprofit Management, or CNM, to help us launch and administer this grant program. So I want to invite Joni Byun, Senior Strategist with CNM, to tell us more about how CNM came to select all of you as grantees and what resources they will bring to bear to help you make the most of this grant. Joni?
Thank you, Michael. Good morning, everyone. Happy Immigrants Day, National Immigrants Day. As we mark this celebration, to me, every day is Immigrants Day because immigrants are the heart of Los Angeles. On behalf of the Center for Nonprofit Management, we are honored to partner with the Los Angeles County to administer these grants and work side by side with you all, the grantees we're uplifting today. Not only do you receive a 2-year grant, but you will also participate in capacity strengthening trainings and coaching from CNM to build strategic partnerships, program planning, fund development, evaluation, and much more. CNM is a nonprofit that drives positive change and helps nonprofits meet their mission. Our goal is to help you meet your mission. We provide nonprofits in Southern California with knowledge, tools, resources, and other ways to achieve their mission. They build stronger structures, processes, and make the greatest possible impact for the communities we serve. We're a passionate team of nonprofit experts. We're instructors, consultants, and we have the compassion to work, teach, and continuously learn with our grantees, and I'm looking very much forward to it. Believe it or not, I was worried that no one would apply. After an active outreach period, we received 84 applications, as you heard earlier. Our selection committee, made up of internal folks and community leaders, reviewed each proposal and deliberated very thoughtfully to select the 10 organizations that we celebrate here today. I know that some of our CBOs were worried too. Should we apply? Is the competition too strong? Are we going to be good enough? I'm glad we overcame our doubts. It is with this spirit that we will do our work together to serve immigrant communities in Los Angeles. We'll face challenges, we'll work together to meet them, and we're looking forward to getting started. Thank you so much to the 10 grantees for your incredible work, and to our colleagues at the Office of Immigrant Affairs, Rigo Reyes, Daniel Sharp, and Michael Nobleza. Thank you so much for your true partnership, and we look forward to making this a reality. I'm going to turn it back to Daniel.
Thanks so much, Joni, and really want to acknowledge you and Megan Singh Sidhu of CNM for your partnership and your hard and excellent work to make our vision for this grant program a reality. So really, really appreciate you. And now to move to our main honorees for this morning's event, all of you, our awardees. So our capacity strengthening grantees reflect the cultural, linguistic, and geographic diversity of Los Angeles County and serve populations that have historically been underserved. Right now, we're going to go in alphabetical order, starting with A. When we call your organization's name, if you're affiliated with that organization, we ask that you please use the raise hand feature in the bottom of your Zoom window, then lower your hand when we finish and move on to the next organization. Okay, so here we go. Al Otro Lado provides holistic, legal, and humanitarian support to refugees, deportees, and other migrants throughout LA County. Their grant will help to expand case management services by hiring a social worker to focus on LGBTQ+, disabled, Creole speaking, Indigenous language speaking, and Spanish speaking individuals, among other marginalized groups.
California Healthy Nail Salon Collaborative works to achieve a healthier, more sustainable, and just industry by improving the health, safety, and rights of the nail and beauty care workforce. Their grant will focus on designing communication strategies that reaffirm their strategic focus on racial justice and equity, Black and Asian solidarity, labor and employment rights, and securing a just economic recovery for the immigrant workforce.
Community Lawyers Inc.'s pro bono model leverages the talents of volunteer legal professionals and students to ensure that low-income individuals and families have access to quality, culturally informed legal services regardless of immigration status. Their grant will increase temporary program staffing so that the organization's leadership can engage in tailored technical assistance around long-term strategic visioning, planning, and fundraising.
Cielo is an Indigenous women-led organization that works with Indigenous migrant communities in Los Angeles. Cielo's advocacy approach empowers Indigenous interpreters to provide Indigenous language interpretation in hospitals, courtrooms, and other spaces where service providers can be educated about the linguistic need and migration patterns of Indigenous people. Their grant will strengthen leadership and infrastructure to attend to language justice needs and fight against the invisibility of Indigenous people and the resulting language violence.
Filipino Migrant Center educates, organizes, and mobilizes low-income and working-class Filipino families. This grant will enable the center to hire a bilingual communications coordinator and bilingual community organizer to develop health education programs for low-income and working-class Filipino families in Los Angeles County. Love it.
Korean American Coalition integrates Korean immigrants into American society, engaging them in civic life, building inter-ethnic understanding and collaboration, and developing leadership among youth and young adults. Their grant will help Korean American Coalition to fight against Asian hate, provide bilingual and culturally appropriate alternative dispute resolution, ongoing COVID-19 in-language outreach, leadership development for Korean American youth, and civic engagement campaigns.
The Latino and Latina Roundtable is a justice-oriented organization that advocates and works alongside immigrant communities around immigrant rights, education, and economic development. Their grant will help the Roundtable to launch a pilot program with temporary staff to coordinate immigration services and create programming and content to address the immediate needs of their immigrant communities.
Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander Alliance is a primarily volunteer-run, community-based organization that improves and increases access to critical resources, citizenship and immigration clinics, translation services, and other direct services. The grant will help this organization develop specific operations-level programs, personnel, fund development, and volunteer management plans, and support the Alliance in expanding their citizenship and immigration clinics.
The Refugee Children's Center provides a healing embrace and a dignified welcome to migrant children seeking refuge in the United States, primarily from El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. Through this grant, the Refugee Children's Center will support families unable to secure legal representation in filing asylum, withholding of removal applications, and employment authorization applications to increase their chances of securing vital legal counsel before a final hearing in their case.
Sahas for Cause is a woman-run organization that educates, empowers, and enables the South Asian immigrant communities, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and the Maldives in LA County to improve their quality of life. This grant will be used to improve, configure, and train staff in data collection and management, as well as to strengthen the capacity of the board of directors, especially around roles and responsibilities and data-driven decision-making. Congratulations to all of you. I'm turning it back to Rigo.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Then I hereby bestow on you the award of Best Readers to read these presentations. Thank you so much for walking us through this so seamlessly. I'd like to acknowledge Elise Weinberg, who is with us today, representing Supervisor Solis. Thank you, Elise, for all that you do for immigrants and supporting our office. We really appreciate and thank you for all your support. Next, I had mentioned at the beginning that we have this incredible scrolls commendations presented by our Board of Supervisors Chair, Holly Mitchell, and to present those commendations and say a few remarks. We have with us Claudia Gutierrez. Claudia, if you can unmute yourself, and the floor is yours.
Thanks, Rigo. I appreciate the opportunity. I'll keep this brief. We're actually handling a pretty intense morning with Supervisor Mitchell, but I am delighted to be here today, and I'm glad I get the opportunity to present these scrolls. Our office staff works really hard to make sure we acknowledge the hard work that community members are doing, and one way we can do that is by presenting you these scrolls that I hope live a long life wherever you may place them. As an immigrant myself, the work that the county is doing around immigrant issues is really critical and important, and the work that you will be doing in the community on the ground is critical to Supervisor Mitchell, and she wants to make sure that you receive her warm regards this morning. She's sorry she couldn't be here today, but she's delighted to know that the work is happening, and we look forward to working with you in the 2nd District and throughout the county to keep fighting for immigrant rights and for participation and equity across the board. So thank you so much, Rigo. I don't know if you have the scrolls, so we'll get to show them off on the screen, but I'm delighted that we were able to join you this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Claudia. We have the scrolls locked in a safe, and we're gonna make sure we deliver them in person to each of you. I tell you, no one does commendation scrolls better than the county, and what they represent. They're not easy to get. So Claudia, thank you so much for presenting those to our awardees, and we'll make sure to deliver them to all of you so you can cherish and keep them.
Appreciate that, Rigo. Thank you so much, everyone.
Now we are getting here to the end of our event. As we had promised, we wanted to keep it short, to the point. I know you have very full calendars today. Congratulations again to all of you. We are truly honored and humbled to work with you in serving our immigrant brothers and sisters, our cousins, our grandparents, who come from all over the world, leaving, in many cases, everything behind in search of a better life. We hope that these small grants will support the remarkable work you do every day in helping these immigrants realize their dreams in their new home, the County of Los Angeles. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This concludes this awards ceremony. But before we end, I'd like to really thank our OIA communications and executive teams who worked so diligently behind the scenes and in front of all of us, making sure that this event was made possible. Thank you, teams. We really appreciate your work. Again, this concludes the event. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. And we look forward to continuing this work with you as we move forward.
I think
And
Michael has one more remark.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, so I put in the chat, if you feel comfortable, please feel free to come on camera. And we're gonna take a screenshot. So I'm gonna count to 3. I'll take a screenshot. I'm gonna have to do it twice because my screen, we have so many great participants. I'm gonna have to kind of do it twice. So I'll give you a moment to kind of come on camera if you will. Great.
And while we're doing that, I wanted to give one last acknowledgement to Carlos Arreola of Supervisor Han's office, Supervisorial District 4, who's also here today. Thrilled to have him and Supervisor Han's support as well. And after the photo, if we can unmute and give ourselves an actual live applause, I think that would be great.
Great. Okay, so it looks like everyone who is able to be on camera is on. So I'm going to take it. Okay, 1, 2, hold on, and I can do this. I've done it before. 3. Okay, perfect. One more time. Oh, I didn't give you, I'm going to give you one more time just because I didn't count that now. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Wonderful, beautiful. Okay.
All right, unmute.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Congratulations.
Congratulations,
everyone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Look forward to joining.
Felicidades.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Happy
LA
Immigrants
County.
Day.
Thank you so much.
So much.